What is up, basketball fans, and welcome back to Zero Gravity, Apollo Media's NBA podcast, brought to you by Big City Wings, Houston's wing joint, Apollo's wing joint. Go check them out today. If you're in the Houston area, go check out Prize Picks, our daily fantasy app. Prize Picks is where you hit more or less on every stat, every night, every game, every player, and use code Apollo when you sign up and get up to $100 matched on your first deposit. So if you put in $100, they'll give you $100 free on Prize Picks using code Apollo. And thank you to our final sponsor of the show, J Bar M Barbecue. We had an awesome watch party last night for the NBA Cup. It didn't go our way, your way, Apollo's way, but awesome show, awesome watch party. They sold out a barbecue last night. So J Bar M, shout out to them. J Bar M Barbecue right over by Toyota Center. So shout out to our newest sponsor, J Bar M. Josh, how are we feeling this morning? Are we okay?
It's an unfamiliar pain, you know. I want to be upset. I want to be mad at something. There's a lot of things I can be mad at. I could be mad at Fred VanVleet for shooting 1 for 11 from 3. I could be mad at Jalen Green, but also Cason Wallace and Lou Dort for hand checking our boys all night. I mean, you said it yourself. Lou Dort is a linebacker, and I got to see it in full display last night. It made me start fuming. And there's no feeling that can make me feel more than the OKC Thunder just whooping our ass, and that's what it felt like last night. The game was very obtainable, very winnable. Amen Thompson played his heart out. You got to love to see that. But Alperen Şengün got put in a blender by a clearly better defender, and Isaiah Hartenstein, former Rocket legend. He was in the same draft class, I think, as Zhou Qi. People forget about him. It's tough, man. It's very tough. I don't know where to go from here. I don't know how to feel. I'm just kind of pissed, I guess you'd say. But I'm sure you're feeling better than I am. What's up, man?
So we're recording this Sunday, December 15th in the morning before football starts, so we can watch your Houston Texans and my Miami Dolphins face off the Zero Gravity Bowl. Last night we watched the NBA Cup games. We'll start off with Houston 96, OKC 111. They took it away there in the last 5 minutes or so. Kind of put a dagger in you, and it's unfortunate, but I texted you maybe 3 minutes into the game. I was at the Stars game last night, so hand up. I had it on another tab during the game, but obviously I'm watching the Stars game in person. I'm going to pay more attention to that. But the first handful of minutes, and the Stars game hadn't started, and I was like, the Oklahoma City Thunder and the Boston Celtics get to play a completely different brand of physicality in basketball than every other team in the league, and that's frustrating. When you're an opposing team, no matter who your team is, when you play against those two teams, they get to play a different brand of basketball. And that's confusing. That's worrisome. If you're going to let someone hand check people, if you're going to let them play linebacker on the field, on the back, on the court, let the other team do it too, because it just never goes both ways. It happened last night. SGA had 32 points, but he had 15 free throw attempts. He was 14 of 15 from the line. Unethical hoops, if you will. And the Houston Rockets starters had a total of 12 free throw attempts. That is the disparity between how people are called in the NBA. Superstars get superstar calls for the most part. There are a handful in Texas that don't get superstar calls for some reason. Luka Doncic, Kyrie Irving, both of them just do not get superstar calls for whatever reason. But SGA, and Joel Embiid, and the list goes on and on. There's just a number of them out there that just get whatever call they want, whenever they want, however they want. And it's frustrating to go against that as an opposing fan of the other team. And it was just that last night. It was a gross basketball game. The first half was 42-41 at halftime. It was just disgusting basketball, which is awesome. That's what you want in these NBA Cup games. It's just hard defense, and everybody's playing hard, and it's hard to get a bucket, and it's a playoff type atmosphere. It wasn't in the first game, I don't think. Saw a lot of rumblings on Twitter for the Atlanta-Milwaukee game. It's just this was like a bubble game, like a bubble play-in game, as opposed to a playoff atmosphere. I think the second game gave us more of a Game 6, Game 7 type of feel, without, obviously, Game 6, Game 7's just kind of status, essentially. It's the NBA Cup, second year. It's good. It's gotten a lot better this year, but if SGA is going to get 15 free throw attempts and your whole starting lineup is only going to get 12, you're clearly at a disadvantage. And OKC is the better team. We can all agree on that. They play really good defense. They have a lot of scorers, and They just they're really fucking good, and that's the issue that you kind of ran into. And when your superstars, as you Houston Rockets fans would like to say, Alperen Şengün, Jalen Green, they just don't perform up to a standard that you need them to win a game. It's going to be really hard to win a game against someone if one of those two guys isn't going or both of them aren't going. It's tough. And I mean, Şengün had 13 points. Jalen Green had 12 points. You had zero starters or zero players in 20 points, where OKC had 4, almost 5 with Lou Dort with 19. So it's a tough game, but you hung in there up until the end, and they just kind of started hitting threes, and it was over. So tough loss for you boys, but I'll give you this: you can have some solace. No team that's ever won the NBA Cup has ever won the NBA championship. So
on 1 year of data to support this. Thank you.
One for one.
I appreciate
100%.
it. 1 for 1. Man, going back to the Bucks Hawks too, and we'll get back to the Rockets here in a second. Dyson Daniels, Jalen Johnson, DeAndre Hunter, even we saw him in the quarterfinals playing really, really well against New York. There's been so many times where I've just seen the Atlanta Hawks, and I'm like, oh, this is the year, this is the team. Like, it's fine. Obviously, they're the 7th seed in the East, and sure, that won't lead them too far. But I'm looking at this team, and I'm like, oh, you have guys now. Like, it's not just the Trae Young show. It's not just Trae Young, Clint Capella pick and rolls. Like, there's actual guys with actual identities now. And Dyson Daniels coming from New Orleans, which him calling the Pelicans cursed, one of the funniest things all year. I wish that would have gotten more coverage because, I don't mean to shit on the New Orleans Pelicans here. I know they're 5-20 or 5-21, and they've dealt with God knows how many injuries. I think they're up to, 12 out of their 15 guys have gotten hurt so far this year.
The entire NBA roster is just gone.
And they've had to send up, send down guys. Like, this sucks, but Dyson Daniels finding his own identity and just being an absolute pest out there. It's almost like I said, Dyson Daniels is the Amen Thompson of the East. Amen Thompson is the Dyson Daniels of the West. They're just, you have clear identity guys who can go out there and play their fucking heart out. And obviously NBA players most of them try to play their heart out every night. Lou Dort plays a little too hard.
Wrong sport.
I wouldn't even call it. Wrong sport. Wouldn't even call it playing at this point. But the Hawks are cool, and more power to them. But of course, Giannis, that block, I think that was one of the better blocks I've seen this year. Like you said, there was a bubble vibe, but I got the Bam Adebayo bubble vibe block. If you remember that one, that was spot on to me. Even though, of course, it was a lob. I love plays like that. I love seeing guys just get up out there. And I think Jabari Smith Jr. was trying to dunk over Isaiah Hartenstein, and thank God we got bailed out with the foul call, or else that would have been one of the better blocks I've ever seen too. Going back to the Rockets, though, I think it's tough because all of your guys, I don't want to say don't have identities, but there's no guy yet. And everyone's saying Devin Booker needs to come here. Everyone's saying, not everyone's saying Jimmy Butler, De'Aaron Fox, all these guys who can come in and be your main scoring option. What is that going to do for the rest of the guys on the team? You're going to have one main scorer. Roles could diminish. They could also begin to flourish, and people could also start figuring out their identities. But it's tough, man, because right now we're on the cusp of being great. We're good, and everyone knows that we're good. It's great to get national coverage, even if the inside of the NBA guys don't know anything about our team somehow. It's crazy. You have former guys and Ernie Johnson, of course, who just feel like casuals. And even Stephen A. Smith on the set, I think he got 1 out of 5, right, or 0 out of 5 who he play for segment.
They're really bad at that.
It's tough. It's bad. And of course, I know there were some guys on there. I think it was Dante Exum, Damian Jones, a couple other guys. I was like, okay, I get if you don't league pass every day, whatever, that's fine. Ish Smith being on the Hornets, death taxes and Ish Smith playing on a new team every year. You got to keep up with that kind of shit. You know what I mean? So I don't know. The NBA Cup is great, and of course, we've mentioned even that's finding its own identity. And of course, the Rockets being in that, it's been great for my own mental health. I've even seen a couple Rockets fans on Twitter going to Vegas and purchasing flights and hotels. I'm like, I don't know how to feel about that just yet. But good for you if you have the means to do it. Go have fun. Go sprinkle on some Rockets money line there if you want to. Of course, it didn't work out last night, but who knows? We could be owning the NBA Cup here soon in the next 5 years or so. I still don't know what that means to me, but let's just have fun, right?
Yeah.
The Thunder are tough though. I'm scared.
And
Very
we
scared of
also have
them.
a bone to pick with the NBA. NBA.com put out a little teaser for OKC and Houston in an NBA Cup game. And like in the first sentence, it was like, while it wasn't the game that we wanted, NBA.com put that out. Not like an opinion piece from the New York Times or the Athletic. Like, it, what are we doing here? Like, Golden State OKC, I don't know if that's a much better game, honestly. Like, Golden State's good, but they're not. I don't know if they're necessarily better than Houston, which is strange to say. I know you lost 15 straight to them, and you finally broke that curse, which was a lot of fun. And Oklahoma City, Dallas, we got that in the first round of the NBA Cup knockout stage, and you get that matchup. And then obviously we wanted Dallas versus Houston, and I think the NBA would have been really pissed off if that happened. Like they want nothing to do with Dallas or Houston at this point. It's just strange biases going on. Like Golden State is old. They've been in the limelight for call it 10 years now. 2015, like 2014 even. Like you can call it a little bit more than 10 years. Like it's okay for a dynasty to end and we don't have to watch them on every Tuesday, Thursday, Friday night, like on television, on TNT, on ESPN. Like we don't have to have that. It's okay to let these younger teams like OKC and Houston get the limelight. You don't have to be sad about that. It was a good game up until the last, call it 6, 7 minutes, 5 minutes of the game. Like
Yeah.
we'll point this out. J Bar M, Texas Trinity Plate 3 of the week goes to Jalen Williams, unfortunately for you, Josh. But SGA dishes it over to him on the wing, and J Dub, he throws it up there. Kind of wide open, but it just bounces off the rim a few times, trickles in, and it was the dagger. It was a little over 5 minutes. I think it was 5 minutes and 5 seconds left in the game. They go up close to 10 at that point, and it was pretty much over after that. And yeah, I mean, Texas Trinity Plate 3 of the week by J Bar M goes to Jalen Williams this week. Thank you for participating, even though it was at the detriment of Apollo and your happiness last night. But OKC moves on, and like you said earlier, Milwaukee moves on over Atlanta 102 to 110. Trae Young had 36 points on 50% shooting last night. Pretty
Pretty
damn
good.
good. And then Giannis obviously had 32, 14 rebounds, and 9 assists. Milwaukee's a better team than Atlanta. But like you said, Atlanta is actually resembling a basketball team now and not like Trae Young, do something, please, team. Like, because that's what they were. DeJounte Murray and him didn't gel. It didn't work. And Clint Capella's not there anymore. So it's just like, it's not just one thing. It's not just two things. It's an actual team. So they're playing really good ball, and they're still not good enough to win anything, but at least they're better, and they have a better chance at making the playoffs this year and maybe having a first round stunner. Like they're fun. They're good. But the finals are set for Tuesday, NBA Cup, Milwaukee versus Oklahoma City. I think that's good for the NBA because NBA Centel, we have to talk about the NBA Centel saved the Milwaukee Bucks season. They tweeted out, I mentioned it a couple of weeks ago, and they won a handful straight. And Doc Rivers, I'm going to start taking this job a lot more serious now. Since that tweet, they're in the NBA Cup Finals. They've won a lot of games. Are the Bucks fixed? I don't know. Damian Lillard in the finals. People say he was running from the grind, but here he is. He's in the finals.
Here he is. This is peak grind. The NBA Cup Finals. This is the best result possible for Milwaukee, and of course, like we talked about, it's a young year, but they figured it out so far. We talked about it last week. You have Giannis, who should be one of the best players in the world. Dame, who I know he's older, getting older. He should still be one of the best players in the world. And damn it, they're playing like it. Chris Middleton's back. And you got like role player guys now. You got white dudes that can move on the team and who actually put real like effort towards it, like towards the game, and like provide good shots and results, and that's great. Like the team is figuring itself out, and I know it's a shitty East. Even the Nets, I think, are the 10 seed in the East over there. So it's I looked it up last night, and I think it's 12 or 13 teams in the West are at 500 or above, and in the East, I think it's like 7 or like 6 maybe, which is like, this is
The
gross.
epitome
If
of
we get a 38,
our preseason preview of both conferences is exactly the scenario that we thought we'd be in.
Oh, of course. And here we are. Here we are. You're going to have a 38-44 team in the play-in, or maybe a 35-47 team in the
Gross.
play-in. This is going to be
Yeah.
ugly for
Yeah.
sure.
But we'll be tuning in on Tuesday, NBA Cup, Milwaukee and OKC. It should be a fun game. Giannis versus SGA, which superstar comes out on top for the NBA Cup trophy. Emirates NBA Cup, I guess is what they're calling it. I don't know.
Sure.
The trophy means nothing as of now. Still, it's 2 years in, but we'll get there eventually. Maybe something will happen. But that's Tuesday. We'll move on. Um, bad news for our boy. Our dearly beloved Jared McCain has a torn meniscus and he is out indefinitely. He will require surgery. Uh, was on his way to winning Rookie of the Year. He's been performing on a terrible Sixers team. Joel Embiid, also sinus fracture. I don't even know what that means. What is a sinus fracture? Like, did you just get a sinus infection and you can't breathe out of your nose?
He got
Did you
slapped. That's all
break
it
a
was. It was a
sinus
very
cavity? I don't know science anatomy. Not. I made
no.
an A in anatomy in high school my senior year. Granted, it was senior year, and I had the easiest teacher of all time. He basically told us what was going to be on the test and the answers. So, um, yeah, I don't know what a sinus cavity is, but the Sixers stink, and the only bright spot really was Jared McCain, our TikTok god, our rookie prince that we love dearly. Is out indefinitely and torn meniscus. Football talk. Jalen Ramsey did this last season in training camp, I believe, in August, and he came back the end of October. So there's a chance that Jared McCain comes back this season and is able to play. He wouldn't qualify for Rookie of the Year probably because of games played, but hearts go out to the kid. He was balling and he was having a great time, and he hit that big shot a week or two ago, and he's like, "I'm Rookie of the Year." He screamed it into the crowd, and it's one of his main goals this season. Especially if the team's going to suck, like might as well just go win Rookie of the Year. Sucks for our guy, Duke Brotherhood.
Yeah. RIP. Like we were talking about before the show, it's always good to have college basketball superstars. It's always good to have Duke guys who are good. Cooper Flag this year being, pretty good so
He's
far, just
he's
playing
good.
hard.
That's it.
It's good. It's good to have guys like that in the chamber. But in regards to Jared McCain, it just sucks, man. Like the guy's just living life. He's balling. Still don't know what's up with his boys and his vlogs. I don't know. I feel like are they like hometown kid? Like I don't know. I don't know the lore yet. I'm only
We
so
need to
tapped
do
in.
a deep dive into this.
We no, we might as well. I'm telling you, we'll just restream Jared McCain vlogs and react to them. Like we'll make it a
Yeah,
whole thing. At this point, because I'm still trying to figure out, like I said, what Jared McCain's vibe is about. Obviously, on the basketball court, he is a sick individual, and I'm not talking in the head. He's a great
mm-hmm.
player, and it's sad. Small setback, well, not small setbacks like that are really, just tough to watch, especially for players that you're rooting for, and for a team that doesn't really have much else to root for. It's like, well, that's kind of it. Joel Embiid's back out again, and God willing, Paul George is, halfway healthy. God willing, Tyrese Maxey, I don't know, can drop 40 points a game without any of those guys in his lineup. Like, what the hell? What are we looking for here? B-ball Paul is not on the team anymore. He got waived by the Pistons
Keith
yesterday.
Maverick.
It's sure. I'd love to see a role guy like that. B-ball Paul is sick, dude.
It'd be great. I would love
But
that.
it's sad. It's sad out here, man. I really hope for the best for the kid and keep it pushing, man. Yeah, the Sixers will be all right eventually. Jared McCain will be all right eventually. Prayers go out to him, though.
Yeah, and I'm wondering if it's tank time for Philly because they have
Yes,
7 wins right now, and it is December 15th as we're recording this. It's not good. Joel Embiid is now
Totally.
out for however long, and Jared McCain's gone for the foreseeable future. He won't be back till probably, I'd call it March, maybe. And even if he comes back, and they might just sit him the rest of the season and just say, "All right, Tyrese, just go out there and get buckets and get better as a player. Don't worry about the results at the end. It's just like go get better, and we'll be back next year." Hard for the kid because he was the one guy on the team that him and Maxey are both just like the spirits were up. They seemed like good on the basketball court, and it didn't seem like the losing was getting them down too much. They were like, "It's not my fault. Look at the big fella. What is he doing? He just doesn't play basketball anymore.
He's late to
He's late
everything.
to everything." And it's just like, whatever. And they were just like, you know what? We're just going to go out there and play basketball, and we're going to have fun while doing it. And Jared McCain's just having fun off the court as well, doing his TikTok dances, vlogs, like all the things. Hope this doesn't get him down too much, and he comes back stronger and better when he gets back from injury. And hopefully it's this season, and if not, we'll see him back next season. And he might be able to, I don't know if he'd be able to qualify for Rookie of the Year next year. I don't know if he played too many games, but
Oh yeah, I feel like it's if you don't play any. No,
yeah, I can't remember if
or
it's
is it
like
like a quarter?
5 or less or 10 or less or something like that, but it's
Yeah.
not like
Well,
baseball, but
yeah. So this almost reminds me of the Grizzlies, like that one year they rebuilt with Ja. I say that like it was a long time ago. It was maybe 2 3 years ago. And look where they are now. I mean, it's been, they're 18-8, 19-8. And they have like not just hope, but like they're a really really good team with deep players. Like it's not just Ja and Triple J. I mean, Triple J obviously, he could be a much better player, especially by now. But I'm not even worried about that. Like they're a much more cohesive team than they've been, and then it almost reminds me. I don't know. I want to see the Sixers do that kind of rebuild, not rebuild, but that down year, like a Warriors down year. And of course, they didn't get rewarded with Anthony Edwards or LaMelo Ball. It's kind of sad looking back at it. I know it's only been 4 years, but it's tough. Not sad for me. I'm very
no.
happy about it. Not at all. But sad for them because they could have kept that dynasty going. And not had those couple down years. They could have been in the mix this whole time. But Philly will be all right eventually. Not that I necessarily want them to be, but just let them have the down year. Just fully ease into the tank. Just do it for 1 year. Come back. Joel Embiid, I think, will be 29, 30. You got time. Not as much time as other teams like the Grizzlies or like the Warriors that 1 year, but I don't know, man. Jared McCain is fucking cool. I want to see the guy play for 15, 16, 17 years, like, and just ball out. It's tough, man. A torn meniscus is tough. It could always be worse. You could be, what was that guy's name? The Cowboys linebacker, Overshown. You
Oh,
could
yeah.
tear your ACL, PCL, MCL, and be out for like a year and a half.
Yeah.
Could
I mean,
always be worse.
that happened to Bradley Chubb,
There
Dolphins
you go. Oof.
edge guy too, and he tore his patella as well.
Oh my God. I can't
Yeah,
even
he tore
imagine.
everything in his knee, and they didn't even say that. They just said he tore his ACL, and then a week or so ago, he returned to practice, and he's like, "Yeah, I tore every part in my
Every
knee." So luckily, it's the least invasive, I think, surgery that they can do. Like even if they repair it, it's 3-4 months, maybe 6 months recovery at most, and he'll be able to come back next season. And I don't know, maybe we just trade Paul George for Jimmy Butler.
PU to PU.
I would love that because Jimmy Butler would murder Joel Embiid.
Oh my God. No, I mean, if you need a guy to keep somebody in check, and Jimmy Butler kept a damn near a whole team in check. So if there's anyone
Yeah,
for the job, surely it's him. But that's ugly. You were agent of chaos. I know you are, and especially it's Sunday. You're ready to watch some football today. Your brain is chaotic. You're
yeah.
excited, but that might be a little too much for me to handle, brother. I
He's
don't.
gonna wear blue and red braids tomorrow. It's gonna be awesome.
All right. Yeah, cut it down to 2 teams.
Yeah, NBA Cup Finals Tuesday. Jared McCain. We'll see you soon. Get better soon. Hopefully, we can see you again this season. You were balling out. We'd love to watch it. But thank you to our sponsors, Big City Wings, Houston's Wing Joint, Apollo's Wing Joint. Go check them out today in the Houston area. They've got 14 locations across Houston. Chances are, if you're in Houston, you're near a Big City Wings. So go check them out today. Go check out Prize Picks. It's a daily fantasy app. Use code Apollo when you sign up. Get up to $100 matched on your first deposit. We love Prize Picks. We love daily fantasy. So check out Prize Picks and use code Apollo when you sign up. And shout out to our newest sponsor, J Bar M Barbecue, over by Toyota Center, just a couple blocks away. They got cheap drinks. They had like $2 wells the other night. Not a big deal. They've got awesome food. The spicy cheddar jalapeno sausage, incredible. My favorite dish. And check out the Texas Trinity plates. 3 meats, 2 sides, not a big deal. J Bar M Barbecue had an awesome watch party there last night, and we'll continue to do those throughout the rest of the basketball season. Shout out to our sponsors, and shout out to you, Josh. Unfortunately, we won't be talking Rockets ball on Tuesday, but we'll be back soon with another Zero Gravity episode. And shout out to you for listening. Hit that subscribe button while you're at it on whatever platform you're listening to or watching on YouTube. Hit that subscribe button for us at Apollo HOU. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. We'll be back with another Zero Gravity, Apollo Media's NBA podcast very, very soon.